Ashram Kirtan, welcome. And 1 month ago, actually, right, exactly 1 month ago, we started here our little ashram project. And we've been spending time, a lot of time in practice and in nature, and being with good company. And how does it feel? Great. And this is not, a parallel universe, a different reality, or hiding, or things like that. It's just choosing where you want to hang out and under what. Something's there. Okay. So how we want to spend time, and also how willing we are to create the environment that we want to spend time in. I know that we seem to face, or we are facing, global challenges of change, and I think that also was always the case. Sometimes it's more dense and more abrupt or less planned, and sometimes it's challenging or fast or demanding. But within all that, we all hopefully can keep a cool head and a warm heart to trust our experience of what feels all right, not looking away, but creating a momentum together. I think that is also a responsibility to do that. So, welcome. And let's chant. We'll take our refuge in God's love. Shri Krishna Sharanam Maha. It's who are already here. Hello, tribe. Hello, wish if you are already with us. Say Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna. Sharanam. Sharanam. Mama. Mama. My refuge. Mama Sharanam. My refuge. Shri Krishna. My refuge is in with love. Our ability to experience, to offer, to be in the state of, to be in awareness of, to know that this is one of the most, if not the most important ingredients to all aspects of life. To know that life is not just challenging and emergency, but also very kind, very caretaking. your heart, it's an offering. Try to not think too much. Find the harmony, find the right tune for you. Wake up the neighbors. Let's see.
Petros Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Could you? That was so beautiful. Could you put on? Could you check if the original sound is on, Baba?
It is on. I already checked with Caroline.
I'll do that. That's 1 minute. Better. First things first. Okay.
It's so fun
Yes.
to play
But
sound.
you know what? We'll try this.
Play sound and visual person as we try to get in the.
Yeah. Hey, you tell a story. Did you tell a story while I try this?
Tell a story.
You tell a story.
A very
here you
special
go.
time. This is the month of the goddess, the month of Katyayani. So right now, it's December, very cold in most parts of the world, northern hemisphere, it's cold. The gopis, they would go to take their bath. The young girls of Vrindavan would go to take their bath. They're only 9, 10 years old. They would take their bath in the Yamuna River before 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's very, very cold. And at this time, Krishna, the reason why they were taking bath at this time in the morning was they're praying for a good partner in their life. But actually, all of the gopis of Vrindavan, all of the cowherd girls, their real desire is to have Krishna as their life partner. Krishna, the one who plays the flute, the one who attracts all hearts. And knowing their desire, knowing their wish to actually have him as their beloved partner, Krishna decides that he's going to play, you could call a prank, but what he does is, as they're bathing in the river early in the morning in the cold water, the sun has not even risen, so they took off all their clothes and they're taking their dip, and then they would come out and they would offer flowers and incense and worship to Mother Katyayani, the goddess, the Shakti, the power. So Krishna, he climbs into a tree and he takes all their clothes and he hangs it on a tree. And so when they're ready to come out of the cold water, suddenly they realize, oh my God, not only are our clothes not there for us to dry off and put on our warm clothes right away, but Krishna is sitting in the tree with all of our clothes. And so the gopis, these young girls, they felt very embarrassed and ashamed. But the purport of this pastime is that actually we all are naked in front of God. We all are naked in front of the divine. Let's let go of our coverings, let go of our egos, let go of our identifications that we put in front of us that block us from actually. And so in this pastime or in this lila, Krishna, he chooses to take the clothes. One of the names of the divine is Hare. Hare is one who takes away, one who steals. He steals the clothes, he steals the butter, and he steals the hearts of the bhakta, of the lovers of the divine, of the lovers. So that beloved one took their clothes and hung them in the trees. And so the gopis then, these young girls, he said, one by one, you must come to me. And I want to see you without any of your. Now, I know this story, I have to give a lot of purport in this story in this age of Me Too and in this age of, of people being, being called out for their discrepancies or their not behaving properly. So, but in this case, Krishna is showing us that when we want to really be a lover of the divine, we might have to go through some little austerity, like taking the cold bath and coming out in the cold and being vulnerable, being completely vulnerable and open to receiving that love. And in that way, Krishna receives each one of the gopis. So I think you guys are ready to go. The Ashram Kirtan. The Ashram Kirtan band. Ooh, I love Tilo Damodar. I love your deities there. What a beautiful altar. I'm going to mute now, Baba. Baba.
Okay, let's see. And please, is Baba done with the storytelling?
Yeah, he's done. He's smiling at you.
And you just give us thumbs up or not. I think it should be better right now.
Yes. Thumbs up.
Yes. So 1 month ago, you were missing, I guess, but some of you were here. So 1 month ago, we started this whole gig, the whole ashram, with invoking and singing to Lord Ganesha. And somehow we came up with this tune, that very kirtan session. And the tune stayed with us now for the whole month. It's somehow our worm. That's a German expression. We say we have a worm in our ear, and that's a musical worm. It just kind of stays there. It's earworm.
It's an earwig.
Earwig. An earwig. So after we took refuge in Sri Krishna, we also take refuge in Lord Ganesha. That all obstacles, maybe understand why they're there, so we start communicating. Maybe that could be one of those. Whoa, Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesha Sharanam. 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 Sharanam Ganesha, Sharanam Ganesha, Sharanam Ganesha, Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesha Sharanam.
Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesha Sharanam.
Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesha Sharanam.
Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesha Sharanam.
Ganesha Sharanam.
Ganesha Sharanam.
Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om
Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Lord Ganesha is in the house. So that next is just the intro to. I'm so happy that Vish, you're there. I'm gonna enjoy singing with you, and I think we're gonna offer our favorite mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Haribol! Haribol. That's the Mediterranean flavor. I guess it's just, it's happening. And Krishna is cosmic, the cosmic dance and cosmic inspiration and great reference to musicality. And I think this is that language that connects us in the most profound and easiest way. And we have chanted, Maha Mantra in all possible ways somehow. And it seems that it always finds its way into, in all moods, somewhere it can be at home, everywhere. And this is what I feel is important and very inspiring. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. And of course, very happy to join you guys now. And if you're ready, I don't know. So I just suppose that that's happened.
Were you talking to me?
Yes.
Jai. Thank you so much. I missed sound check, so let me just, Caroline, if you could make sure that my volume is okay, and if everything is Moses Baba, is the sound okay now? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. All right.
Sound is good. Sound is great.
Okay. What about when I go like this? Still okay? All right. Okay. All right. It was like a real show. The sound gets better as the kirtan progresses. The sound gets better. So thank you all for joining in this wonderful bhakti stream, the stream of devotion that is. I live in Florida. My name is Vishwambar Vish. I think many of us have gotten to sing together over the last couple of years now, and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to share mantra with all of you. I live in an area of Florida where there are lots of underwater streams. The water here in Florida is very porous. The earth underneath is made of limestone. So there's these underwater streams or underwater springs that flow everywhere. I actually have one on my land. my land is starting to sink in some places because there's actually a creek underneath. There's a stream underneath the water, that underneath the land that is flowing, and so the land is starting to sink. So there's also many areas here that are, you see these signs, it says spring protected areas, because underneath the water, underneath the land there's actually fresh, clear, drinkable water that is flowing underneath. And unfortunately, the times that we live in, we want to pollute everything, we want to dilute everything. And so these certain areas, people are not allowed to do, fertilizer or dump chemicals or dump garbage or things like that, because because the water underneath wants to be protected. And then all around, within, an hour around, we have tons of these places where the water actually starts to bubble up, where the stream actually starts to flow out. And you can, it's like, 20 meters deep, 25 meters deep, where you can see this crystal clear water. So I say that the same stream, the source of this stream is all the same place, but it's flowing in different places and it manifests in different ways. Some are emerald springs, some are green, some are blue springs. In this way, the stream manifests in different ways. So here we're in this bhakti stream. We're streaming bhakti. And that stream can manifest in many ways in different traditions. That stream of devotion manifests itself in different ways. And for us, it is manifesting right now through the chanting of sacred mantras that we at least geographically we say have come from the East, but at the same time, those who have chanted these mantras for generations and for since time immemorial, these mantras have been chanted. I would like to share one very sacred mantra with you that is from the Samaveda, but see if you feel like it's if it has some tinges of another tradition that may you feel have no connection to the Vedas. Okay, it goes like this. Put this on for a second. Om Agnai Ayai Voitoyai Toyai Nihota Satsai Sai Ba Wow Ishi Harihi Om. This is a chant from the Samaveda, invoking Agni, invoking the great fire, the light-giving power. And at the same time, to me, it always invokes to me the Native American tradition, the tradition of the native people of this land that I live in. It has a feeling of this Native American. So this stream of devotion, and as Petro said, the stream of music specifically is underneath all traditions, all beliefs, and when we connect to that stream, we connect to that life-giving source, the life-giving source. I am the taste of water. set here. So we're going to chant a prayer to the Guru. I may have some friends joining me very soon. But meanwhile, we'll chant a prayer to the Guru. Because in the tradition of bhakti, we humble ourselves before the teachers, before the great mystics who have come before us and who guide our hearts in this path. Just as sometimes a star, some of the stars that we see in the sky, they're actually not present in the universe anymore in form, but their light is still shining towards us. Similarly, the great mystics and the great teachers who may seem to be of the past, their light is so strong that it is still being perceived by us and can still be accessed by us, even though they may not be physically present. Their light is still shining there. So the words of this song that I'm going to teach you all is Vande, please say Vande, Vande, Guru Shri, unto the Shri Guru, Vande Guru Shri, again, Vande Guru Shri, Charanaravindam, 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 Charanaravindam. If anyone feels they can find these words and put them in the chat, but it's Vande Guru Shri, Charanaravindam. One more time. Vande Guru Shri, Charanaravindam. I love to look on the Zoom and see everyone singing along. We feel the energy, although I can't hear your voices. So and then we'll say Jai Jai Guru Dev, Jai Jai Guru Dev. All glories to the teacher, all glories to the Guru, all glories to the bhakti mystics of all traditions. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam, 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 Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Let's try that again, okay? Vande Guru Shri. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam, 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 Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam,
Charanaravinda. Just change the setting on this for 1 second while I play Sound Man. Everyone doing good with the words of this? All right, wonderful. I'm changing the setting a little bit because I'm joined by my dear sister here. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. 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 Sometimes this world is compared to a burning forest fire. I believe in Greece and in Crete, our dear brothers and sisters there were experiencing very intense forest fires. And so this verse, it says that the Guru, the grace of the Guru, is like the cooling monsoon rains. When the monsoon rains, when the monsoon clouds come, it fills the hearts with joy of those that are burning in the fire of the forest fire of illusion, the forest fire of material consumerism. And so that's what these verses say. Samsara dava nalalida loka pranaya karunya kana ganatvam samsara dava nalalida loka pranaya karunya kana ganatvam praptasya kalyana gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Oh, praptasya kalyana Vande Guru Shri, all together. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. One more time. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Oh, Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Oh, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. Let me try. I'm going to try a little out something here. We're having a lot of guitar kirtans this evening. It's that kind of evening. As we were saying, the bhakti stream flows in all ways. Sometimes we need to access that. And we need role models. As Krishna says in the Gita, whatever action a great person performs, common men will follow, common people will follow. So, the role model for the rulers is Sri Ram, the incarnation of being the just ruler, the just king. We'll sing Raghupati Raghava, Raja Ram, the just king, the just ruler. Rule my heart. Be my parent, be my role model, be my example. Patita Pavana, because you are most kind, even to those, especially to those who are in a difficult situation. Is the sound okay, everybody? I just want to double check that. Okay, thank you. I depend on all of you. Please show your love for my sister Jamuna. beautiful voice. I feel blessed to have family that is all offering their arts and their life in devotion. And we get to do it together sometimes when we can tolerate each other. When she tolerates me, I should say. This is a melody by my dear kirtan friend and mentor, Jayutal. Always give credit where credit's due. Let's see if I can get it right. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram. Let me start again. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Together. Raghupati Raghava Raja Patita Pavana Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram. Oh, Patita Pavana Sitaram. Raghupati Patita Pavana Sitaram. Patita Pavana Sitaram. Patita Pavana Sitaram. O Divine One, your names are many. Your names are Ishwara, Allah. All traditions call out to you. And please, give peace, give prosperity to all those who call and all those who don't call. Ishwara Allah, Tero naam, oh, sabko samati de Bhagavan. Ishwara Allah, Tero naam, oh, sabko sammati de Bhagavan. Oh, Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Patupati Raghava Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita. Let's try that one more time. Raghupati Raghava Raja something like that. Patita Pavana Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Raja Patita Pavana Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Raja Patita Pavana Sitaram. One more time. Raghupati Raghava Raja Patita Pavana Sitaram Patita Pavana Patita Pavana Sitaram. Ooh, that one had me sweating.
Intricate chords. In a little bit, okay?
How's everybody feeling? You know, we'll chant the Maha Mantra. You can never go wrong with Maha Mantra. Yes, thank you. I see everyone at the Crete Shala there. So much love to all of you. Wow. You guys already got your sunset? They have like the most amazing sunsets. Every couple of days, Petro sends me a picture of the sunset going on as they're chanting there over the ocean. And, you know, my heart goes and flies over the ocean like Hanuman over to there. When Hanuman was jumping over the ocean to... some of you may be familiar with the story of Sita and Rama, but those of you who aren't familiar with it, I'll do a very quick little overview. Rama is the just king, the ruler, and his beloved Sita, the day of their coronation, the day that they were meant to be crowned, the king and queen of the entire empire, that day by the twist of fate, they were exiled to the forest. And they lived in the forest for 14 years. And while they were in the forest, they actually enjoyed being in the forest, away from the intrigues of the palace, away from the Game of Thrones, you could say, that was going on in the palace. They were living simply in the forest, enjoying. But in the forests, besides there being many wild creatures, there was also many, many demons, many what were called rakshasas, or human eaters, man-eaters, man-eating tribes. And Ram had taken it upon himself to rid the world of these rakshasas, of these demoniac forces. But the king of all these demons, the king of all the rakshasas, was Ravana. Ravana was the 10-headed ruler of the demon race. And his kingdom was in Lanka. And Ravana, when he heard about Sita, the divine goddess, the divine mother, the power, the Shakti, the actual energy of divinity that is manifest in everything, he wanted to possess that power for himself. He thought, I have everything. I live in a golden palace. I have an airplane, a pushpaka vimana that can fly to any place at the speed of the mind. I own a harem of queens.
7,000.
Vrinda, my wife Vrinda, is giving a little purport here. It says that he had 7,000. It says that the daughters of the gods and the daughters of well-respected people would run away from their families and join the harem of Ravana. He was so charismatic, so powerful, so possessive, so endowed in all ways. But he needed Shakti. He wanted that Shakti. He wanted the if he thought, if I can possess that Shakti, the nature, Mother Nature, if I can possess her, then I can control everything. Even though he already controlled the movements of the moon and the sun through actually his yogic power. So he kidnapped Sita when she was in a vulnerable place. He kidnapped her and he brought her to Lanka. And so Ram, who is divinity himself, is wandering around the entire region, searching, calling out, Sita, Sita. He practically goes mad in grief. And who does he take help from? He takes help from the monkey warriors. Simple monkeys and apes, and bears come to his help. And the foremost of all of them is Hanuman, the powerful Hanuman. We call it a Hanuman. And so I should say a little plug-in that these stories that I'm telling are in my wife. My wife has written an adaptation of the Ramayana with beautiful colored paintings in it. And if you look up Sita's Fire, or if you go to sitasfire.com, you can find her books there, and little advertisement in the middle of this live stream. She's coming out very soon. You can order the box sets of the trilogy of Sita's Fire if you're interested to know more about this. So when Hanuman, the monkeys and the vanaras and the apes, and the bears, they were searching everywhere for Sita. They came to the tip of South India, and they looked over the ocean, and they got word that some of the creatures there, the vultures, had seen a demon flying over the ocean on that spot, and they had seen a damsel in distress calling out, Ram, Ram, calling out for help. So Hanuman, he had forgotten his own power. See, when Hanuman was a child, when Hanuman was a little baby, he had been born from the wind, and he was also an incarnation of Shiva. He had full power, full strength. And so one day, while his mother was feeding him her breast milk, she had to go to attend to something. And so she put him down, and he was hungry and he was upset. And he saw the sun rising in the east. And he thought, that looks like a wonderful fruit to eat. So this little monkey jumped into the sky and started to fly into the sky to swallow the sun. And it says that he actually was just about to take a bite out of the sun when all of the gods, they went to Indra. They said, you have to do something about this. A little monkey is about to swallow the sun. And so Indra came riding. Indra's the Zeus, the king of the thunderbolt, the god of gods. He came riding on his a four-tusked elephant, Airavata, with his thunderbolt, and he struck the little monkey Hanuman. At that time, his name was Anjaneya, the son of Anjana. And Anjana went falling from the sky and hit the ground on his chin. And because he hit the ground on his chin and broke his chin, his name became Hanuman, the one with the crooked chin. And his father, Vayu is the lord of the wind. Vayu was very upset. Vayu, he stopped the wind. He stopped the air. And without air, all creatures of the universe began to shrivel up and suffocate. And so all the gods, once again, they went to Vayu and they said, please forgive us for hurting your son. We will bring him back to consciousness, and we will give him our gifts, we will give them to him. And so the sun said, I will give him knowledge, because the sun is all-knowing. The sun sees everything. Indra said, I will give him a body like a thunderbolt. Yama, the Lord of Death, said he will be deathless. And in this way, Fire, the Lord of Fire, Agni, said he will never be burnt by fire. And they all gave him his blessings. But what happened as one who has a lot of power, a lot of intelligence, they can tend to use that in the not right ways. Now he was just a little monkey. So he started to harass the sages. When a sage was meditating on his mountain, he would take that mountain and move it to another place. And suddenly the sage would wake up and he's suddenly in another place. Or when the sages were bathing in the river, he would go underneath the water and he would grab them and pull them underneath. He's just a little naughty monkey, as children and monkeys often tend to be. So the sages, they all gathered and said, this Hanuman has too much power. So may you forget your power. May you forget your influence. May you forget it all until the right time comes. And when you're ready, you will be able to use that power for good. And so Hanuman actually forgot all about his amazing powers. And it wasn't until that moment that he was sitting at the tip of India, the tip of the ocean, looking over, seeing the glow of the golden city of Lanka, and thinking, how will I serve now? How can I be of service? What is the best way I can be of service? And when he stepped into that place fully of being a servant of Ram and Sita, then he was reminded of his divine powers, of his divine nature as the son of the wind, as the one who had been blessed with all knowledge, with deathlessness, with no fear, with the ability to fly and jump across the ocean to the island of Lanka and find Mother Sita and relieve her of her suffering. So the destroyer of sorrows, Hanuman is known as the destroyer of sorrows. So if we can also, in this same way, sometimes we are all blessed with the most powerful abilities. We each have our own gift. Me and my daughter, we watched a movie last night called Encanto. It's all about finding your gift. About finding your gift. It's such a sweet little Disney movie. So we all have a gift. And when can we step into it the most? I learned this from my dear brother Moses Mukunda, who's actually on the stream today. I'm feeling his love. And he always says, how can I be of service? Let me know how I can be of service. And when we can step into that place of being of service, then we can reawaken our power, our true divine power, because it's not being used for a selfish motive. It's being used as an instrument of divine will. As Saint Francis says, let me be an instrument of your will. This instrument, it doesn't play itself. There's a player, there's a person who's playing the instrument, but at the same time, the instrument and the player, they become one, and the music is flowing from the instrument. Similarly, let us all be instruments of the divine's will. And what better way to be an instrument than to sing out the divine names? So that's a little story time during the Bhakti stream. We have we have time for one more chant. If with your permission, we will chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Is that all right? Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, little Hanuman, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. If you want to play drum, sure. Hare Hare. My sister's gonna get on the drum here. Oh, and we have a little Hanuman. We have a little prankster in the house right now. I don't know if you can't see him right now. Here's my little Hanuman. Hey baby Hanuman. Hey baby Hanuman. Oop. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Kine da ni da, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Please sing it out. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lovely to see you dancing, David. So nice to see you dancing. Brendan, clapping your hands along with the kirtan. I see some kartal players over in the Crete Chala. Oh yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. part. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Naimi, come on in. Hare, 5 minutes. Oh, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. 2 minutes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh, 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 Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, bolo 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 bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's that type of party around here. This Maha Mantra has so many meanings, so many deep realizations have been extracted from this mantra over the centuries, over the millennia. And my teacher's teacher, Srila Prabhupada, who is credited with bringing the chanting of this mantra to the Western world and spreading it on every continent, in every country, and every nation. He translates this mantra as, O Krishna, O my Lord, O Shakti, O divine energy, Hara, O feminine divine Shakti, please engage me in your service. Engage me in your service. Let me be a servant. And in that, and I add to that in that way, let me reawaken, or let me reconnect with my most divine being, my gift. What makes me unique? Each one of us is unique and has a divine gift. And when we can be of service, when we can be instruments of divine will, then we will also, like Hanuman, we will once again realize our divine natures, and we will be able to cross over oceans. We will be able to lift mountains. We will be able to do the impossible by divine will. So let's chant one more time, all together. Let everybody unmute yourselves, okay? Unmute yourselves for a second so we can hear you all chant. I know it's going to be a big mess.
Chante, amiga. Chante comigo, se você puder, que tá ouvindo.
Yeah, everybody unmute yourselves. And let's chant one time, okay? Me and Jambo are going to lead it together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's do that one more time. I need to hear you louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. While we're still all unmuted, let's give a big Radhe Sham. Deep breath. Bolo Jai Jai Shri Radhe Sham. Thank you so much, everyone. Damodar, your deities, oh my God, your Nrsingadev is just amazing. Thank you for giving us beautiful darshan of your beautiful lords. My Jagannath is falling in love with your Nrsingadev, I think, there. And everyone with Petros at the Shala, we send our loves to you. And everyone who danced and chanted with us, so wonderful. Thank you, Carolina, for always bringing us together in this way. Thank you to Jambu for coming and chanting with us, and thank you to my kids for tolerating me right now. All right. Any last words, Petros Baba?
No, all good. I love you. And the next time we have a kirtan here together. And I hope that everybody come. Bring your whole family. Hey, Jamuna, come back.
We're ready. We're ready.
Everybody.
Hey, kiddos, come say bye to everybody here.
Hey, Cole. Hello, Cole.
I tried to get them to sing a little bit, but they hear it all the time, so you know.
Yes. Bye-bye. 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 Thank you. Thank you, Jivamukti, and hello to everyone, whoever is here.
I think there was something about if you feel inspired to give any donation, I think this is being done by donation. So if you feel inspired, I think there was some PayPal link somewhere, and we're grateful to all of you for chanting with us. Thank you for the opportunity. Hare Bol, Hare Bol.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol.
Hare Bol, Mausi.
Love you, Baba.
I'm trying to.
Caramel. It looks like cheese.